Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Gabin from Design Tribe, and today we are going to be designing this flyer from scratch. Let's get straight to it. First thing we want to do is to create our project file, and for this project we are going to be using a dimension of 30 centimeters by 35 centimeters, and our resolution will be 300. We're just going to click on OK. First things first, I'm going to drag in this background image into the design like this, and I'm going to scale it up to something about this size like this. And I'm kind of happy with what I have. I want to add some color to the background, so I'm going to pick this red color here and increase the saturation a little. Use my soft brush and increase the size, and I'm going to use my bracket open key on my keyboard and just dab here just to have some more reds going on around that point like that. And I think that is okay for me. Now I'm going to select both layers and convert them to a smart object, and now I'm going to go to my filter, blur. I'll add a Gaussian blur to my background, and I think something about this, let's say 9.6, is okay, so it has some depth of field. And now I'm also going to add some noise to my background, and I think 20.61 is a good percentage for that, so I'm just going to leave it at this point like this. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding this this color effect, this radial effect to my background. So I'm just going to increase the size to something like this. Once that is done, I'm going to switch the blend mode to screen, sorry. And once I have done that, I'm going to create a copy, and I bring it down to this point. And for this second copy which I've just created, I'm going to blur it out. So I'll go to Gaussian blur and increase the blur. Here I just want it to be a color and not really the radial shape texture that we have up here. So once that is done, I'm going to add some images to the background again to make it have some textures. So once I add that, I'm going to change the blend mode to soft light like that, and I'm going to add a mask to it and use my brush to change my foreground color to black. I'll just paint out on these areas like this, and I'm going to create a copy of that. Ctrl J, Ctrl T, and I'll flip it horizontally like that to create a copy, to move this copy to this point here like this. And now on this second point, this second layer that I've just created, I'm going to use the brush to blur out some unwanted spots, and I'm going to drop the opacity to something like 60%, and this other one I'll do same, maybe lower than that, and I just move it to this point like this. So at this point I'm going to add the preacher and his wife, so I'll drag and drop this image into the design. I think this position is okay, and I'm going to bring his wife's image in, position her behind, and Ctrl T or Command T will transform, and I'll reduce the image to about this size, and I position it like this. Okay, so at this point I want a little separation in between them, so I'll pick this red color, let me see this one, and I'm just going to use my brush like this, and I'll dab in between them like this. Okay, and you know what, let me take that out. I'm just going to select the two layers first, create a group, and add a mask to the group. I'm going to use my brush, dark brush, make sure the hardness is turned down to 0, and I'm just going to paint on these parts like this. to fade out this area like that. Okay, you don't want to do too much, so at this point I'm going to reduce the size of the brush and flip the color to white and paint back this area like this. And then I'm going to go to here, take this back like this. Okay, I think I have to move. Oops. Okay, let me locate the group, Ctrl T, and move both of them to this point like that. Okay, now I'm going to add a curves adjustment layer above them, and on the RGB curve I'm going to create an S curve like this. Take this up, bring this down, and now I'll go to the red curve. I'm going to add some reds like that. Go to the blue curves and I'm going to add some yellows like that. And I think we are good to go. And one more thing, I'll add one more curve. Make sure it's clipped. Let me clip this one also. Now on this one I'm going to brighten up the face like that, and double click. I'm going to hold Alt to split this, so I want this to appear only on the bright areas like that. So I'm taking it away from the dark areas, and I'll click on OK. So I think we are good to go, but I feel like I need to modify this part a little more. So let me just fill this in again like this. Okay, so now we are going to add the other elements to the design. Let me drag the logo and position it to the top left corner of the design like that. Okay, once that is placed there, I'm going to add some color on the other side of the design. Add a layer here. I'll use the same red color which I picked the other time, and I'm just going to dab on this side like this. Make it big. Just dab here to give it some color, and I'll drop the opacity to something like this. And now I'm going to add a shape, a white shape to this point up here, something like that. Fill it with white, take out the stroke, and Control Command T, and I'm going to skew it up like that, and position it somewhere here. And then now I'm going to create a crossover text somewhere here. So for this I'm going to be using a font known as Avilock. So let me take this to the top, and I'll type in cross like that. Select it. I'll change the font to Avilock. Avilock bold. Increase the font size. So I'll just press Ctrl T. Increase the font size to something like this. Now change the color to white, and I'll reduce the space in between the letters like that. Now position it here. Now I'm going to select this and I'm going to type over. So I'll type in O, create a copy, V, create a copy holding Alt, E, hold Alt, create a copy, R, like that. Then I will make sure that they overlap, so I position this here, let the V overlap over the O, and I bring it down slightly like that, and then let the E also overlap with the V, and the R with the E, like that. Then I'm going to create a layer in between them. Then on this layer I'm going to hold Control or Command on my keyboard. Now click on this thumbnail, the thumbnail of this O layer, like that. Then I'll use my black brush, reduce the size to something like this, and just dab around here. I want to dab in a way that is going to create a shadow effect around there. Turn it off. I think I would prefer just dabbing throughout like that. Reduce the size, just dab like that. Then I'll add a new layer above. We just dab here. We can then perfect it later. Create another layer above, and then you dab just like this. Then create another layer. No, I don't need another layer. I think we are done. Okay, so I'll locate this one, maybe add the mask to it and take it out from the places where I don't want it to appear. You can take it out from here like this. Do same for the other one. Take this part out. Okay, I think we are good. So I'm just going to add the other text now. So here we have 2024 2025. So I'm going to type in 2024 2024 2025. Select all, increase the line spacing by holding Alt and the down arrow key, and I'm going to select this top text, go to character, and I'll click on this button to strike out the character above, and select everything back, change it to white, position it here, Ctrl C, going to reduce the size a little to something like that, position it here. Now I'm going to select my my rounded rectangle, and I'm just going to create a square around the text like that, and I'm going to drop down the size of the stroke to say, yeah, this size, and I'll make it a little more rounded than it is right now. Okay, I think that's cool. So I'm going to add the name of the minister. Before doing that, let me just add this cutlery here to this point. Okay, and type in special Zina. Special Zina. If this video is helpful to you, please do well to like, and if you've not subscribed to my channel, please do well to hit the subscribe button. Okay, let me go to regular special Zina. Okay, take this to this next line. Ctrl C. Like this. Position it somewhere here. Special dinner. And I'm going to write the name of the pastor with Reverend and Mrs. Ivan Amatagana, like that, and reduce the size something like that. Here I'm going to italize this and reduce the size to something like that. I want to increase the size a little so it's a little more visible. Okay, once it's there, I'll just add a layer, use my brush, increase the size of the brush, and just dab there like that, and drop the opacity. Okay, so we can actually see the text. Okay, now I'm going to type in service, crossover service, like that. Select the text, and for this I used a font known as Colbiac Regular. Ctrl C, increase the size to something like this, position it here like that, and now I'm going to add the details of the program. So 31st December, here I use Bebas, just type 31st December 2024, select everything and drop down the size. Oh, that's too small. I think, yeah, that size is okay. And I'll write the time, then 9 p.m. Ctrl T, increase the size of the fonts to something like this. Just position it here like that. And then I'm going to add the next information. Before doing that, I'm going to draw a line in between like that, and for that information I'm just going to copy the location of the church. I'll just copy it like that, copy. I'm going to paste it, create a paragraph text like this, going to paste it within, select everything, change to Montserrat. I think Montserrat regular, it's no semi-bold. Drop the font size to say 18, and then I'll reduce the line spacing so the text can all fit like so. Okay, let me take this to the top. Okay, to that line. Then I'm going to select this rectangle to create a copy, position it here, select this to create a copy, then I'll copy the phone number, copy, I'll paste here, a long line like that. Okay, I think I'll move this to this side a little. Then now I'm going to add Facebook icon. Okay, to ensure that they are all of the same sizes, I'll undo like that. I'll add the YouTube. Okay, well, that will not really work. Maybe I bring this above this, Ctrl T, increase the size just so they can have similar sizes. So I'll select the two layers now, Ctrl T, and I'll reduce it to something like this. Then I'll bring them here. Select both again, reduce the size a little. I think I'm going to be needing more space here, so for this I'm going to drop the size to about 16 and this to 16. Then I'll move this to the left to create more room for the other text that I'm going to be adding. Yes. Okay, let me verify the text. Christ Nation Church. So I'm going to select this, drag, drop here, paste in Christ Nation Church. And I'll select it again, paste down here. Select Christ Nation Global, copy, and I'm going to paste it here. Like that. Okay, so now I'm going to begin to adjust the design to get it to where I want it to be. So I want this red color to be on their face, so I'll bring it to the top, apply the same red color above, Ctrl T, I'll bring it somewhere here like this. Once that is placed there and it has rendered, I'm going to drop the opacity a little so it creates some warmth on their face like that. Then maybe it's a little too strong, let me take it down a little to about 8% like that. Now at this point I want this text to be a little more visible, so I'm going to create a new layer, use my dark brush, not just dab here like that. So you now see that the text is more visible than it was at the beginning. So you can just select this. Where is the cutlery? Bring it to the left a little. Also bring special dinner to the left a little to make it a little more balanced. And now I'm going to select everything like this, create a group, and then I'll press Ctrl Shift E to merge visible, and I'll go to camera raw filter, and I'm just going to do some light adjustments on the design. So increase my contrast, increase shadows a little, turn up the whites, turn up clarity. At this point you don't really want to do too much, if not you're going to destroy your design. So here, oranges, you can brighten up the oranges a little, the reds saturate it a little, and maybe I add the sharpness a little, and click on OK. And I think we are done with this design. So if you enjoyed this video, please do well to like, to share, and to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year to you.